Ladies and gentlemen, we spend our lives searching for answers, seeking meaning, and hoping to unlock the great mystery of existence. But what if I told you that life is not a riddle to be solved, but a journey to be experienced? We are taught from a young age to chase goals, to achieve, to prove our worth. We attach meaning to careers, relationships, and social status, thinking these things will define us. But in the grand scheme of time, all of this is temporary. The real meaning of life is not found in external achievements. It is found within us. Let go of expectations. Let go of the pressure to be someone you are not. You do not need approval, validation, or permission to live fully. Life is not about pleasing others. It is about discovering who you truly are. Life spends so much time in our minds, overthinking, worrying, regretting, that we forget to simply live. But the beauty of life is not in the past nor in the future. It is right here, in this moment. When you stop overanalyzing and start experiencing, you realize that meaning is not something to be sought after. It is something to be felt. Happiness is not in grand achievements or material possessions. It is in the simple things. A sunrise, a kind word, a moment of laughter, the warmth of human connection. The meaning of life is not hidden in complex philosophies. It is right before our eyes, in every ordinary, beautiful moment. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop doubting yourself. Stop living in fear. Be who you are. Unapologetically, embrace your uniqueness, follow your heart, and make the most of the fleeting time you have. Because at the end of it all, the meaning of life is not about what you have. It's about how you lived, how you loved, and how deeply you felt every moment. Life is often approached as a puzzle, a problem that must be solved, or a question that demands an answer. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that if we think hard enough, if we analyze and calculate, we will one day arrive at a definitive understanding of life's purpose. But what if life is not a problem to solve at all? What if, instead, it is a mystery to be experienced? The human mind craves certainty. It wants to label, categorize, and make sense of everything. We ask ourselves, why are we here? What is our purpose? What is the meaning of all of this? But when we become too consumed with finding an answer, we risk missing the beauty of simply being. The truth is, life does not come with a clear, singular meaning. It is not a math equation where, if we plug in the right numbers, we arrive at a perfect result. Instead, life is a flowing, ever-changing experience that is meant to be lived, not solved. When we treat life as a problem, we place unnecessary pressure on ourselves. We measure our worth by how much we achieve, how much we know, or how many milestones we reach. But in doing so, we become so focused on the future that we forget to live in the present. The irony is that while we are busy searching for meaning, life is happening all around us, in the laughter of a loved one, in the stillness of a quiet morning, in the kindness of a stranger. Mysteries are not meant to be solved, they are meant to be embraced. Think about a beautiful piece of music. You do not listen to a song to reach the final note. You listen to experience each sound, to feel the emotion, to be moved by it. In the same way, life is not about reaching some final conclusion. It is about immersing ourselves in the experience of living, the moments of wonder, joy, pain, and love. These are the true essence of life. Every experience, whether good or bad, adds depth to our existence. Instead of constantly searching for answers, we should learn to trust the journey. Some of the most profound moments in life happen when we stop trying to control everything and simply allow life to unfold. The idea that life must have a singular, concrete meaning is an illusion. The meaning of life is not something we find, it is something we create. It is different for each person, and it evolves over time. What brings meaning to one person may not bring meaning to another, and that is the beauty of it. So, instead of overanalyzing life, live it. Instead of seeking an answer, embrace the mystery. Let go of the need to understand everything, and instead focus on experiencing each moment as it comes. The beauty of life is not in the destination, but in the journey itself. From the moment we are born, we are taught to follow a path set by society, one filled with expectations, pressures, and predefined notions of success. We are told that happiness comes from achieving certain milestones, getting good grades, securing a stable job, building wealth, starting a family, and earning the approval of others. But as we chase these external goals, we often find ourselves feeling empty, anxious, or dissatisfied. This is because true fulfillment does not come from meeting societal expectations. It comes from within. Letting go of expectations does not mean abandoning responsibility or ambition. It means freeing yourself from the pressure of living according to someone else's standards. It means understanding that you do not have to fit into a mold created by society, family, or peers. Each person's journey is unique, and the moment you stop trying to conform to what others expect of you, you begin to discover what truly matters to you. Many people spend their lives striving for approval, whether from parents, teachers, bosses, or society as a whole. They work tirelessly to impress others, believing that validation will bring them happiness. But external validation is fleeting. The opinions of others change, and no matter how much you achieve, there will always be more expectations placed upon you. The more you chase approval, the more you lose yourself in the process. True peace and fulfillment come when you learn to live for yourself, not for the expectations of others. One of the greatest sources of stress in life is the fear of disappointing people. We hesitate to follow our dreams because we are afraid of what others might think. We suppress our true selves because we worry about rejection or criticism. But the reality is, no matter what you do, there will always be people who disagree, judge, or criticize. You cannot control how others perceive you, but you can control how you live your life. When you let go of the need to please everyone, you gain the freedom to be authentic, to make choices that align with your values, and to pursue what truly brings you joy. Another trap of societal expectations is the illusion that happiness is something to be achieved in the future. We tell ourselves, I will be happy when I get that promotion, or I will feel fulfilled when I buy a house. But happiness is not a destination. It is a state of being that exists in the present moment. When we constantly chase after the next goal, we miss out on the beauty of life as it is happening. Letting go of expectations allows us to appreciate the present, to find joy in the simple things, and to recognize that happiness is not something we must earn. It is something we can choose. You are not here to live up to anyone else's expectations. You are here to be yourself, to explore your own path, and to define success in your own way. When you let go of expectations, you open the door to a life that is truly yours, one filled with purpose, authenticity, and genuine happiness. We often live our lives caught between two worlds, the past and the future. We dwell on memories, regrets, and missed opportunities, or we anxiously anticipate what is to come, always planning, worrying, and preparing for a future that is never guaranteed. In doing so, we overlook the most valuable thing we have, the present moment. Life is not lived in yesterday's memories or tomorrow's uncertainties. It is happening right here, right now. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that happiness is something that lies ahead of us. We think that once we achieve a goal, earn a certain amount of money, or reach a milestone, we will finally feel fulfilled. But this way of thinking keeps us in a constant state of striving, never truly satisfied, always waiting for the perfect moment to enjoy life. The truth is, if we cannot appreciate the present, we will never feel content, no matter what we achieve in the future. One of the greatest obstacles to living in the present is the tendency to replay the past. We regret past mistakes, dwell on painful experiences, or long for the better days we once had. But no amount of reflection can change what has already happened. The past exists only in our minds, and the more we hold on to it, the more we allow it to control our present. Letting go of the past does not mean forgetting or ignoring it. It means accepting it for what it was, learning from it, and allowing ourselves to move forward without being weighed down by it. On the other hand, many of us spend our lives fearing the future. We worry about what might happen. We stress over things beyond our control, and we constantly prepare for scenarios that may never even occur. While planning for the future is important, obsessing over it robs us of the joy that exists in the present. No one knows what tomorrow will bring, and if we spend all our time preparing for it, we will miss out on the beauty of today. Living in the present does not mean ignoring responsibilities or failing to set goals. It means being fully engaged in what is happening right now. It means savoring the small moments, the sound of laughter, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite meal. It means giving your full attention to the people around you, listening with presence, and experiencing life as it unfolds. The present moment is the only place where life truly exists. When we learn to embrace it, we find that joy is not something distant or unattainable. It is available to us at all times. Every breath, every heartbeat, every second is a gift, and it is up to us to appreciate it. Instead of waiting for happiness in some distant future, we must realize that it is already here, in the simple, fleeting, and precious moments that make up our lives. Overthinking is one of the biggest obstacles to truly living. The human mind is powerful, capable of deep thought, creativity, and problem solving. But when left unchecked, it can also become a prison, one that traps us in endless cycles of doubt, fear, and hesitation. We analyze situations from every possible angle, replay past mistakes, and worry about future outcomes. In doing so, we become paralyzed, unable to take action, unable to move forward. Life, however, is not meant to be lived in constant deliberation. It is meant to be experienced, felt, and embraced. The habit of overthinking often stems from fear, the fear of failure, rejection, or making the wrong decision. We want certainty, so we convince ourselves that if we think long enough, we will find the perfect solution. But the reality is that no amount of thinking can prepare us for everything. Life is unpredictable, and waiting for the right time or the perfect decision only delays our progress. Instead of finding clarity, we create confusion. Instead of gaining confidence, we become overwhelmed. Overthinking can also rob us of our happiness. When we dwell too much on the past, we fill our minds with regret, constantly questioning whether we could have done things differently. When we obsess over the future, we burden ourselves with anxiety, trying to control outcomes that are beyond our reach. In both cases, we lose sight of the only moment that truly matters: the present. Life is happening now, and the more time we spend trapped in our thoughts, the more we miss out on the beauty of simply being. The key to breaking free from overthinking is action. Instead of getting lost in endless contemplation, we must learn to trust ourselves and take the next step. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to be forward. Many of the world's most successful and fulfilled people are not those who had everything figured out before they started. They are the ones who acted despite uncertainty, who learned along the way, who embraced mistakes as part of growth. Another way to overcome overthinking is to shift our focus from the mind to the present moment. Practicing mindfulness, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply paying attention to our surroundings can help quiet the noise in our heads. When we engage fully in what we are doing, whether it is a conversation, a task, or a moment of stillness, we create space for clarity and peace. Life is too short to be spent trapped in endless thought loops. We do not have to have everything figured out to move forward. The best moments in life are not those we overanalyze, but those we experience with openness and courage. So, instead of letting fear and doubt hold us back, we must step forward, embrace the unknown, and start truly living. The answers we seek are often found not in thinking more, but in doing more. Happiness is often perceived as something grand and elusive, something that requires wealth, achievement, or extraordinary circumstances. Society teaches us that joy is found in big milestones, a high-paying job, a luxurious home, or widespread recognition. But in chasing these external markers of success, we overlook the simple truth. Happiness is not in the grand gestures. It is in the small, everyday moments. The meaning of life is not hidden in complexity. It is woven into the simplicity of living. One of the greatest misconceptions about happiness is that it is something to be earned. Many people believe they must work tirelessly, achieve great things, and reach a certain level of success before they can allow themselves to be happy. But happiness is not a prize at the end of a long race. It is available to us at every stage of life, in the smallest and simplest of things. A warm cup of coffee on a cold morning, the sound of rain tapping against the window, a heartfelt conversation with a loved one. These moments are often overlooked, yet they are where true joy resides. The constant pursuit of more money, more possessions, more accomplishments, often leads to dissatisfaction rather than fulfillment. When happiness is tied to external achievements, it becomes conditional. I will be happy when I get promoted. I will be happy when I buy a bigger house. But as soon as one goal is reached, another takes its place, and the cycle of longing continues. In contrast, those who find joy in the simple aspects of life understand that happiness is not something to be postponed. It exists in the present, in the quiet moments that many take for granted. Living simply does not mean living without ambition or goals. It means appreciating what you have while still striving for growth. It means recognizing that true contentment does not come from having everything, but from appreciating the things that truly matter. It is in laughter shared with friends, in the feeling of sunlight on your skin, in the moments of stillness when you realize that right now, in this very moment, everything is okay. Gratitude plays a significant role in finding happiness in simplicity. When we shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have, our perspective changes. Instead of dwelling on what is missing, we begin to see abundance in the ordinary. A home, no matter how small, is a place of comfort. A meal, no matter how simple, is nourishment. A conversation, no matter how brief, is a connection. The more we appreciate these everyday blessings, the more we realize that happiness is not something we need to chase. It is already within reach. The secret to happiness is not in acquiring more, but in needing less. It is in the ability to find joy in the little things, to embrace life as it is, and to understand that meaning is not something distant or complicated. It is found in the simplest of moments, waiting to be noticed and cherished. At an early age, we are taught to fit into society's mold, to follow a set path, and to seek approval from others. We are conditioned to believe that success means meeting expectations, that acceptance comes from conformity, and that we must adjust ourselves to be liked. But in doing so, we often lose sight of who we truly are. The greatest freedom in life is to be yourself, unapologetically, fearlessly, and without the need for validation. Many people live their lives trying to be what others want them to be. They suppress their true thoughts, hide their emotions, and change their behavior to fit in. They fear being judged, rejected, or misunderstood, so they wear a mask, becoming a version of themselves that feels safe. But in this pursuit of acceptance, they sacrifice their authenticity. They may gain approval, but deep inside they feel disconnected from themselves. True fulfillment does not come from pleasing others. It comes from embracing who you are without hesitation. Being yourself means living in alignment with your values, passions, and beliefs. It means expressing your thoughts honestly, making choices that reflect your true desires, and not compromising your identity for the sake of acceptance. When you allow yourself to be authentic, you attract the right people into your life. Those who appreciate and love you for who you truly are, not for the version of yourself that you present to gain approval. Fear is often what holds people back from embracing their true selves. Fear of criticism, fear of standing out, fear of not being enough. But no matter what you do, there will always be opinions. Some will support you and others will not. The reality is that you cannot control how others perceive you, but you can control how you live your life. Would you rather spend your time shaping yourself to fit someone else's expectations, or live freely as the person you were meant to be? Society often creates unrealistic standards for success, beauty, and happiness. But these standards are constantly changing, and trying to meet them is exhausting. The people who make the biggest impact in the world are those who refuse to conform, those who embrace their uniqueness, think differently, and have the courage to stand out. When you stop trying to fit into a mold and start embracing your individuality, you unlock your true potential. Being yourself does not mean being perfect. It does not mean that you will always be understood or that everyone will agree with you. It means having the courage to stand firm in your identity, to love yourself as you are, and to live without fear of judgment. The world does not need more people who try to be like everyone else. It needs people who are real, who are honest, and who are unafraid to shine in their own unique way. When you embrace who you are unapologetically, you give others permission to do the same. You inspire, you uplift, and you create a life that is not dictated by others, but shaped by your own truth. Life is often perceived as a destination, a goal to reach where everything will finally make sense. From childhood, we are taught that if we work hard, make the right choices, and follow the right path, we will eventually arrive at a place of happiness, fulfillment, and success. But as we grow older, we realize that there is no fixed destination. There is no moment when life is suddenly complete, no final answer that makes everything clear. Life is not about reaching an endpoint. It is about embracing the journey. Many people spend their lives chasing something in the future. They believe that happiness will come when they achieve a certain goal, whether it is financial security, a prestigious career, or a loving relationship. But as soon as they achieve one goal, another takes its place. The finish line keeps moving, and the sense of fulfillment they expected is fleeting. This cycle can lead to a life of constant striving, always looking ahead, but never truly enjoying the present. The truth is, life happens in the small moments, in the experiences along the way. It is not just about achieving big milestones, but about the lessons learned, the people met, and the memories created. The journey itself is where the true beauty of life lies. The conversations shared with loved ones, the laughter in unexpected moments, the challenges that shape character. These are the things that give life meaning. Uncertainty is an inevitable part of life, and that is what makes the journey exciting. If everything were predictable, if we always knew exactly what was coming next, life would lose its magic. The unexpected twists and turns, the moments of struggle and triumph, the highs and lows, all of these contribute to our growth and make life meaningful. Instead of fearing uncertainty, we should learn to embrace it, to see it as an opportunity for adventure and discovery. Many people hesitate to take risks because they are afraid of failure. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect plan, but there is no such thing as the perfect moment. Waiting too long can result in missed opportunities and regrets. Life is meant to be lived boldly, with the understanding that mistakes are part of the journey. Every failure teaches a lesson. Every challenge builds resilience. And every experience, good or bad, adds to the richness of life. When we stop focusing solely on the destination and start appreciating the journey, we find joy in the present moment. We begin to see that happiness is not something waiting for us in the future. It is something we can experience now. It is in the simple pleasures, the kindness of a stranger, the beauty of nature, and the love we share with others. Life is not a race to be won or a problem to be solved. It is a journey to be experienced fully, with all its uncertainties, struggles, and joys. Instead of searching for meaning in some distant future, we must recognize that the journey itself is the meaning.